I blast past goals. We go to unlimited places, and that's where I found that the Newbie really helped me get there with certain individuals, just through kind of, they joke with me, but I say kind of zapping them out of their mentality.
I'm Garrett Salpeter, and I believe that the most powerful and transformative way to help people recover from pain and injury, heal from trauma, and reach their highest levels of fitness and performance is to focus on the nervous system. In this podcast, we'll share knowledge from the frontiers of neuroscience and inspirational stories of how applying that knowledge has empowered people from all walks of life to heal, adapt, and grow. Welcome to the Undercurrent podcast. I'm so excited for this episode. We have Leiva, Doctor of Physical Therapy and founder of the Exerscience Center in Lutz, Florida, just outside of Tampa. Lauren, thank you so much for joining us today.
How are you? Thank you for having me.
Oh, I'm excited for this episode. I know a little bit about your both personal and professional stories, and so I'm so excited to share that with our listeners, and super grateful to you for coming on here. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'm excited to be here.
So let's start actually with your personal story. So, before we get into your practice and how you're using the Newbie with patients and all that, can you tell us a little bit about your personal story and the journey you've been through?
Gotcha. So my story, and I'll just start that my mother was very holistic and always brought me to yoga class and drummings on the beach. So I always had a very yogic philosophy. Stay positive, think mind over matter, stuff like that. So I'm blessed to have that as a foundation in my life. And that has helped me because when I turned 13, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. And then later on, rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, kind of all of those things tie together, those autoimmune issues. But I still kind of battled it out. I was an athlete, a figure skater, volleyball player throughout middle school, high school. But then in college, my mother had a stroke, different things. So the stress was bothering me. And then when I got pregnant, I ended up hospitalized for about 9 months. And it was very, very difficult. And if I didn't have that mind over matter philosophy, I don't know if I would have made it out. I definitely would not be here with you today. But I was pregnant and the hospital was checking an abscess. They cut my intestines. I ended up septic, and that's how I was hospitalized for 9 months because I refused to have an abortion. All the doctors, all the specialists came in and told me, your child will be like this. You're going to end up, and for no better words, dead. They told my 9-year-old son this, my husband, my father, my family, to tell me to, have the abortion and clean up everything inside of me. My mind had different wavelengths, and I knew, thank God I had the education to read, the imaging reports. I saw he had 2 hemispheres, his spinal cord was closing, but God had other plans. I ended up transferring hospitals twice. The Cleveland Clinic saved my life, and I did not leave the hospital till my son was 4 months old. The whole time I had a PICC line in my arm shooting Dilaudid, morphine, all of this terrible stuff to just take away my pain unnaturally, to the point I lost feeling in my shoulder blade, my whole arm, and it was radiating pain constantly. I was hitting my hand on things, putting my hand on hot cars in parking lots, anything to take away what was happening. As well as I was a new grad. I never quit school. Throughout all of this, I graduated, and I found Jason Waz in Tampa, because not only was I looking for a job, but I was looking for a job at a place that, respected the technology of tomorrow and included really new ways to treat their patients. So Jason was like, "What are you coming here? I don't have a job in posting, listed, but you're very unique, and we have a NeuFit training tomorrow." So God works in mysterious ways, because I cleared my whole schedule and I spent the whole day there learning with other doctors. And I was just so blessed, because I'm truly a lifelong learner. And I instantly knew I had to buy the machine. I didn't even have a practice or a job, but like, it's really pathetic because I don't know if I'm the only one who did payment plans for you guys, but I was like, I need that machine. So I did payment plans as a new grad just because I respect technology and innovation, and I knew right away that it made sense and it worked. So I used it on myself, and I actually have zero pain in my left arm. Zero pain. I'm not going to say that it's perfect because I can't feel my finger, here, but at least I don't feel like my hand, I want to cut it off, So, and I don't feel the hot and cold yet, but maybe it'll happen, maybe not. But at least during my yoga practice, for all you yogis out there, I don't know if people know what pushing syndrome is, but it's common after some people have a stroke and they lose feeling of half their body. They sometimes keep pushing their body this way just to feel it because they don't feel it. So during my yoga practice, I was shifting my planks. I was shifting my whole body, even through my leg. Just everything was off, and it was affecting my collarbone, my neck. When your body's compensating, it was just terrible. I was getting pain everywhere else. So I just started treating different areas of my body, and I am where I am today, just constantly using each breath as a moment to connect with myself. And then I reset my plan of care, and I have a newbie, so I can treat myself all day.
And so you got your machine, that was 8, 9, 10 months ago, somewhere in there, right?
Yep. I got it. I feel like I almost got it instantly, but I probably harassed Jason forever. And then unfortunately, I had 2 car accidents. Someone T-boned me, and I went for Jason for therapy because I wanted, no offense, Jason. No, I'm kidding. I wanted him to use the newbie on me, teach me more, as well as heal my pain. Because once you go to a practitioner who has the newbie, it really doesn't make sense to go anywhere else. So that's also why I include it in my practice with other biohacking modalities, because if you can hack your system, why not? I mean, that's what we do. So if I can do my job 4 times faster and easier, why not?
Amen.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Thank you for sharing your story. And I mean, I think it's super inspiring how you talk about mind over matter and how, they gave you an answer that you really felt called to do better and went multiple places and just, didn't take no for an answer. I mean,
yeah.
So
I don't know if I mentioned here, but they even gave me a colostomy bag. I don't know if I said it here another time, but they did so many surgeries on me. They took out the parts of my body that they said I would never go to the bathroom normal again. And I do. So I just wanted to say the mind over matter. Whenever anybody tells me I can't, it's an opportunity again for me to wonder if it's something I want to do, first of all, because I'm not a toddler throwing a tantrum. I can do anything, but if it's something I want to do, I always rip the tee off, because I think everybody can do anything they want if they put their mind to it.
Amen. And I'm so excited that we were able to connect. You were able to work with Jason and that the newbie was a tool that could support you on this journey, because I share that same belief that if we can get the right tools and resources and have the right mindset and get everything working in our favor, that we can overcome tremendous obstacles. And you are a very inspiring example of that.
Thank you. And not even just for me, but my patients, they find me, whether it's directly or through your site, and they say, because of your story, I want to go with you. You lived it, and a lot of people might not have that mind over matter philosophy, and it really all starts in here, and then the rest will follow. So, and then the Newbie Machine, even my patients that are learning how to walk again, it almost switched my practice to completely neuro, which is my passion. I get patients with Parkinson's disease, stroke. We've had SPG7, which is something new I've been working with, spastic paraplegia gene 7. A lot of my patients follow Dr. Terry Walls. So then they want to do the foot baths, the master reset. And what they find out is not only are they maintaining their baseline, they're improving. And not only are they improving, but one of my patients, their significant other, is like, are you working out there? Because your body is changing. And that was just really an amazing message I read from my client, because her goal was not for any body image change. And that was just a complete side effect of her being able to walk, not use a walker, not in a wheelchair. So that it's been such a blessing to give what I've done to myself to others, because they think I'm a miracle. And I say, I'm just using the techniques that are put on the table. So that's all.
That's awesome. So just to recap for all of our listeners, so when you first started working with Jason, the physical therapist in Tampa, got exposed to the Newbie, you did not have your practice yet. And then opening was also further delayed because of COVID. So you've only really officially been open for a few months at the Exerscience Center.
Well, the Exerscience Center has been open since 2015, but I was doing personal training, group fitness, and yoga.
Oh, yes.
And in 2018, I got my doctorate in physical therapy. So I wanted to transition my practice. And because I'm a lifelong learner, even though I was keeping my own practice, I also wanted to learn. I don't even care about the money. I just want to learn from somebody. Mm-hmm. So that's why I was going out to get the job, for experience, and because he had good feedback on his practice. And I opened my physical therapy practice August 1st in Lutz. So it's kind of like I did just open it, because now it's a whole new center.
Yes. So the new iteration of the Exerscience Center now with physical therapy, and that's awesome how it has helped you, attract new types of patients, and that's great. Get more of those neuropopulation patients. And I know that you have a really interesting mix of services. Some of the original iteration of Exerscience Center is still there, and in terms of yoga and the emphasis on fitness, emphasis on mind over matter and that philosophy. Can you tell us about the whole kind of suite of services that you have now in the current center?
So we are having a state-of-the-art sensory deprivation float tank. It's being made right now in the USA and California. They're making them a little bit different because of COVID. You know how they filter the water and all of these things. They have, this hair catcher system, but we have a sensory deprivation float tank. And if you're a floater, you already know. But if not, it's a great way to connect with yourself. And if you have trouble meditating, we have ways that we can guide you through the beginning so you're comfortable, and then you can go into your own floating experience. We also have a halo generator and a salt cave. So we bought a sauna and turned it into a salt cave with a halo generator. So just like any salt room, if you study halotherapy for sinuses, for just lungs, everything, it helps with allergies, inflammation. It helps bring your body to that nice equilibrium.
So can you just share a little more detail on what exactly that is for people who are listening?
Okay. Yes, I tend to do that sometimes just because I watched one of your podcasts about, I think you said to get a little more detailed with the Newbie, just because I know what it is. When I tell people, I have to really tell them because I've been studying it so much. But halotherapy, halo is salt and therapy is therapy. So when you go to the salt rooms, they have a halo generator. So it is a machine that you pour medical grade salt into it, and you can add essential oils and different things to uplift your experience if you want. But then it is diffused into the room. So you're breathing this salt, which helps deepen your breath to that diaphragmatic breathing, which goes into the autonomic nervous system, the system that you cannot control. Like if God forbid you've ever been pulled over for speeding, when your heart drops, when you get really nervous, it helps change your nervousness, your anxiety, which improves your metabolism, your circulation, just like the master reset. So when you have all of these things working together to bring your autonomic nervous system to a parasympathetic state, you're just living your coolest life ever, right? So
that's awesome. And I love the suite of services there, the way you've been able to combine those. So you'll have
the PEMF mat, the Beamer mat. So again, just different things. We have a vibration plate. So if you've looked it up and it's in a biohacking blog and it's evidence-based and proven, we probably have it. So.
And in terms of the model and how you work in your practice, what's the typical, patient or client path? Do they come in for physical therapy and then do other wellness things after? Do they come in for wellness sometimes separately? What's the
so right now, it's more of a holistic therapy spa, all private pay. We are going to be accepting insurances soon because I know COVID has affected some people's ability to private pay their therapy. Mm-hmm. So we're separating the business to where we're having the therapy side, traditional, but we also have the holistic therapy model where it's a monthly membership. People come, once a week or more, depending on what they pick. And then we create a plan of care in the beginning. So whether they see me 1 to 3 times a week for one-on-one manual therapy, including the Newbie or vibration plate training, it's basically whatever they're coming to me for, as long as it's within my scope and we're just doing, using all of the modalities to get them better. So it's more of a membership plan. They come once a week or 3 times a week, and they just use all of the services. So when the flotation pod is in, we're going to have on add-ons. So maybe float, once a week or once a month, and then that'll just be there for them to schedule when they come for therapy. And then we have a shower. We just installed a really nice shower so people can shower before and after the salt, the sauna, the deprivation tank, because cleaning, as you know, before COVID was very important to me. I'm glad it's important to everybody now after COVID, but I always maintain a clean atmosphere, so you guys can trust that.
That's awesome. So it's really cool. I love all of those technologies that you have and how complementary everything is, especially when it is around this unifying theme that you have of, trusting that if you get the body into the right state, that it can heal, it can overcome trauma, and it can, recover from things that even other people may have said were impossible.
Yeah, and we have, online meditation classes, yoga nidra. Some people don't know what that is, but it's a whole class where it's a deep meditation. I hope I can be at that facility in Austin where I have 20 machines, because to me, that's my goal, where everybody's mastery setting during Shavasana. That'd be awesome.
We'll share some notes and we'll compare notes on that. You and I, we can talk about that, and let's get that going down there.
Yeah, that was great.
If you're ready to supercharge your practice, listen to this. Garrett and Team NeuFit have just released a new online course entitled Introduction to the NeuFit Method. In this detailed 8-hour course, you'll gain mastery of the fundamental techniques in our practice, including muscle testing and activations, nerve glides, and joint articulations. You'll also get introduced to our patented direct current stimulation device, the Newbie, an incredible machine that's empowered professionals just like you to help their patients heal, adapt, and grow faster than they ever thought possible. To learn more, go to www.neu.fit/learn. And now back to the show.
So one last question before we'll let everyone know how they can find you online and such. Are there any outside of your own, any success stories or patient experiences that stand out as kind of the really, solidifying or really impactful experiences or outcomes that you've seen?
Yes, I have had a patient who came to me and she had a diagnosis of SPG7, and her doctor told her she was not going to possibly be walking in, a year or two. It's a degenerative diagnosis, something that I was fairly new with. I never had somebody with that diagnosis, but it kind of follows a little bit CP symptoms of gait and stuff like that. When she came to me, she couldn't walk that well, and she was getting ready to, get an assisted now she's not only walking well, but she's getting those muscle mass changes in her body. She's doing yoga with me. So it went past just learning how to walk again. It's now we're in warrior poses and we're standing on one leg and we're taking it to the next level. And that's how my philosophy really is there's no ceiling if you don't put a ceiling there, So I want people to not just get better. I always ask them, close your eyes and where do you see yourself if you could do anything, and then and some people say, what? Like, you're a physical therapist. What do you care? And some people say, I want to skydive. Well, why not? We can modify things and get you there. And I just love to really go right into what is their dreams and make them happen. And, from kids to seniors. And another one of my success stories is a patient with Parkinson's. And I had him, he was in a skilled nursing facility. He could not walk 20 feet. So, of course, he was using the restroom bedside or in the bed. And there's just a deterioration that happens when you're hospitalized, institutionalized, sedentary, pressure ulcers, all of that. So it was a big mission for me to get him out of the hospital and better. And this is also why I work for myself, because no offense to huge systems, but I not only wanted to walk him past 20 feet, because, every therapist knows when you work in a specific place, there's a specific recommendation on how far you can walk them. And you can ask my past jobs that I would get in trouble for writing unlimited distances. And they said, well, you have to put it. I'm like, why? Because if our appointment was longer, we can keep walking. Or why is Lauren outside walking her patients over the curbs and on the grass? But I'm like, I got to get out of this hospital. That's our goal, So, and then he actually still sees me. And not only he has a completely fused ankle, and he's a veteran and stuff like this, but he's also in tree pose. A guy who he always used to tell me, you can take a horse to water, but he ain't gonna swim. And now he's swimming. Okay. So he's meditating, bringing his awareness inward. And that doesn't mean he might not be holding 2 chairs. Okay. But in his mind, he might be playing piano on 2 chairs while he's holding them, doing a tree, because he can do the tree, So I brought someone who wasn't walking and going to the bathroom he's, squatting 17 times in a row, walking unlimited distances, because every time I got up to 800, I just quit measuring. I didn't want to anymore. So it's really just, I have tons of stories like that where I go past the goals, and when you're working at certain places, they're like, whoa, now what's happening here? I'm like, hey, I blast past goals. We go to unlimited places, and that's where I found that the Newbie really helped me get there with certain individuals, just through they joke with me, but I say kind of zapping them out of their mentality.
Yeah, that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I like that. Zap away their mentality of that I can't, Yeah. And I just tell them I'm going to have to zap it up a little higher.
Oh, that's fabulous. So that's really good, really inspiring, and a great perspective on that. I think I'd love to hear more of these and talk all day here. If people do want any more such doses of inspiration, what's the best way to see your work, follow you on social media, or kind of where are you most active? What's the best way to follow you?
So the best and easiest way to follow me is to go to the exersciencecenter.com. And if they go there, there's links to all my social media right on the top. I have a great office manager web team that put everything there conveniently. Or you go on Instagram, the Exerscience Center, or Facebook, Exerscience Center. But the easiest way is just going to the website, and all the links are on the top.
All right, and we'll post a link to your website in the notes here, and also a link to the particular sub page where they can see your inspirational story as well. So,
thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story. It's awesome, not only how you've helped yourself, but how you've then turned that around to helping many, many patients and making a tremendous impact. And we are grateful to be working with you. Thank you for the wonderful work that you're doing, and keep it up.
Thank you for your machine, because it's helping me, get better and helping others. So thanks for having me.
A wonderful collaboration and partnership.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to the Undercurrent podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a review and be sure to subscribe to stay up to date as we release future episodes.